I think this call is fine as long as you're careful and you have some sort of game plan for the hand. What happens is most of the time players don't have a plan and they approach this hand like any other, and that's where they get in trouble. You can't approach every hand the same way, and this is a good example. So my plan here would be to fold right away if I don't improve with a 2, a 5, or a 6. Your most important priority here with 2 opponents and being out of position is to make sure you don't get sucked into the hand. I mean, this hand is like a Dementor looking to suck the life out of your bankroll. A little Harry Potter reference there. So for me, that means actually folding if I spike a 7 on the first draw. I know, I'm out of control. But if you run the equity that an 8-7-4-3 has versus an under the gun player drawing 1, and regardless of what the player on the button has, I mean, even if he's drawing to a 9, he still has, he still has a piece of the pie equity-wise. And you're going to see that the 8-7-4-3, the equity here blows. It's probably going to be between 20 and 25%. So being out of position and having only one small bet invested, folding if you miss your hand after the first draw isn't going to be a big deal. What will be a big deal, though, is hitting a 7 on the flop and then calling a bet on the turn and getting a bet sucked out of you on the river with some weak-ass 8-7. And before you know what happened, you turned your 1 big blind call into a 6 big blind spew fest. And you're left going wondering what happened. That's fun to do. So think of yourself as like a sniper. You're on a mission. Get in, take your shot, and get out if you miss. And so this is where the mistake starts. So Hero will likely call here, but for all he knows, abs could be pat. So now his equity could be anywhere between 20% and 0. I mean, it's very plausible to think that he might be drawn dead here. And this is how you get sucked in. So now you hit a 2, and you think you're Phil Ivey playing in Bobby's room. You're like, yeah, I got the 2. I'm in Bobby's room. I'm Phil Ivey. And again, abs bets out, and you still have no idea if he's pat or if he's still drawing. Definitely need to get rid of the 9 here. Don't pat the 9-8. Don't do it. Think about it. Okay, so this is why playing out of position sucks in this game. You have to assume that abs is pat. You just have to. You have a 9-8. I mean, yeah, it's the nut 9-8, but it's still a 9-8. So you're basically gambling that either abs is still drawing, or he's patting a worse hand, or your 9-8 will hold up versus 2 other opponents. And what about a river bet? Are you going to call a river bet with a 9-8? Probably not. So there's no value in batting with this hand in this spot. I mean, heads up, you have a fighting chance, but this is really wishful thinking. And I mean, you got your magic card, you got the deuce, so now you need to draw for a hand with some power and showdown equity that you can actually win with and extract maybe some extra bets with. I mean, yeah, sometimes you want to try to limp into a showdown, and other times you want to go down swinging. But this is a case where you want to be aggressive and go down swinging. The difference maker here is you're out of position. If you're in position and you were able to see both players draw, then I'd be fine with patting the 9-8. In that case, you would actually have some meaningful equity. You would know that your cards are still live, but out of position, you could be patting here with no equity.
Holy moly!
Yeah, so Gus drew 2 and patted, and so, yeah, we're likely screwed, pretty much.
Yeah.
You saw you patting, and he still patted behind, and I don't think he's going to pat a worse hand in this spot. You just, if you're Hero here, you just really need to understand the severity of this mistake. And like I said, these hands are like a black hole. You need to really play them with caution. You make mistakes like this once in a session, and it's just going to blow holes into your win rate.